So how's it going, Dean? Everything all right at the household?
Youngsters screaming in daytime, the old man mooning at night.
And how do you find country life? Was it worth it? Marrying in a den?
Love is where you find it.
You're young and naive. You'll return to Flotsam in tears not a year from now.
Here comes the Witcher. Think he'll agree?
No, I don't know. Shall we just walk up and ask him like that?
Take a good look at him. He'd be ideal.
Ha! Greetings. A word, if you will. You see, we've created an alchemical substance and we wish to test it in Vizima, in a laboratory. Seeing as you're a witcher, we wondered if you'd be willing to test it in practice. In a year or two, given the occasion, you could visit us in Vizima. We'd examine you and reward you generously. We need to study its long-term effects. We can't say more. Are you in?
Why not?
Splendid!
Excellent.
Now, if you could also keep a journal of the experiment.
Don't overdo it.
Hey, boss. Look who's graced our smithy. That titan of the art of smithing can't hear us. Busy. Work's a blur in his hands. And how are you, Witcher? Things working out for you?
Nice workshop.
Bah, it's no workshop, just a simple forge. But thanks for the compliment, both in my name and the master's. So how can we help you, eh? So how can we help you, eh? So how can we help you, eh?
Hey there, Witcher! Are you Geralt of Rivia, sir?
Who's asking?
Thank you, Master, for what you did outside Lavalette Castle.
Our family would have perished if not for you. Please accept this modest gift.
Thank you.
May the gods protect you.
Well, I had an inkling and it didn't disappoint me. It was a long voyage to this cesspit, but it's about to make sense. Voltest's killer, live and in person. How are you? Happy and healthy?
Can't complain.
I am delighted, really. But you see, it's a long way back to Vizima, and I'd rather not dawdle. I lost a load of time looking for you.
No reason to waste any more talking then. Bon voyage.
Listen, Jester. You're worth more to me alive, but if need be, I will take you back as a corpse. You choose.
All right. Give it a shot.
Drop your sword and put your hands together, or I'll not vouch for what...
Shut up. Go ahead. Try to kill me.
No disappear, those witches! I've got a turtle stone! He's worth a
So how's it going, dear? Everything all right at the household?
Greetings. Mind if I take a look at what you have in stock?
Certainly. You're welcome to. I'm Iorveth, a merchant. Not to be nosy, but weren't you hired to kill the Kairan? I've had my fill of this place, and I'll be glad when the blockade is finally lifted.
The Rita won't let you traders out until it suits him. Seems he needs you here for some reason.
What's that supposed to mean, damn it? Is he organizing some international trade fair? I'm a subject of King Demavend, and I tell you...
Demavend's dead.
Ah.
Now, if you don't mind, can we get down to business?
Youngsters screaming in the daytime, the old man mooning at night.
A notice board. Might find something interesting here.
Damn, that was close! Innkeep! Vodka!
Triss Marigold! Lice eat me, but you are a treat to behold. Just a little pale.
Magic takes its toll, but I'll be all right. Good to see you in your beard again.
Can somebody tell me what happened? You set off a month ago for Zoltan's wedding.
That got fucked. There will be no wedding.
Did you hear about Foltest?
Rumors travel faster than the wind.
Winds and rumors. I want to know the truth.
I want to know how Foltest died. And the dragon, was there really one there? And who rules Temeria now?
Dandelion, calm down. You'll choke on your liquor. The dragon. Well, the dragon appeared, and that's all I know.
But where did the Lavalettes get a dragon? We heard it fought on their side, huge as a barn, they say.
Dragons don't usually take sides. Maybe its lair was nearby and it just felt threatened.
If you hadn't driven it off, Foltest might not have taken the castle.
Maybe. We'll never know for sure. No wedding, Zoltan.
The Breckenrigs broke off the engagement because some limp prick put it about that I joined the uprising in Vizima. My would-be Papa-in-law refused to let a rebel firebrand join the family. Innkeep, where's our drink?
It was like this. We got to Mahakam a week after the Grand Master died. Bought Zoltan an absolutely grand doublet, a pair of Garibaldi Krakows, and as a gift for Eudora, a jade stone as big as my fist.
You were broke as a joke by the time Dandelion threw me a bachelor party at an establishment called the Tight Lane.
Next day, we went over to the Breckenrigs. They welcomed us in, sat us down, and proceeded to discuss the superiority of Mahakaman mining know-how over any other. And that went on until dinner. Just when I thought I'd learned more than I ever wanted to know about mining, they served the soup.
You could have held a pin drop. Old Breckenrig rose and he says, "A real dwarf works a mine, not chases fame on the battlefield."
You'll never believe this, girls, but they served duck blood soup. It was as black as tar. They must have dropped lumps of coal into the pot.
"Eat," Breckenrig says, then proceeded to slop 2 full bowls of the shite. Old goat. Hope his mind caves in on his head.
Since when have you worked for Roach?
Hey, nobody said a word when you went out to save Temeria from the Grand Master and his mutants.
Relax, Dandelion. I was just asking. Do what you want. You're an adult, kind of.
That wasn't very supportive.
Laugh away. At least I decided to do something constructive.
You used to spy for Redania. Now you're spying for Temeria. Some might call you a traitor.
Ever tried to live off of poetry alone? The truth is, I'm a citizen of the world. As long as I don't serve Emperor Emir, I'm not doing any harm.
Leave him be, Geralt. You play the spy a bit, get bored and drop it. You know how he is.
Laredo said you're working with the Scoia'tael, Zoltan.
I have done many things in my life, Geralt, but I have never stooped to banditry.
The Scoia'tael don't consider themselves bandits.
But I am no Scoia'tael.
Triss, you're the expert on Temeria. Tell us who's in charge now.
It's chaotic and getting worse. The old families are fighting for supremacy, no holds barred.
Baron Kimbolt and Count Merivale, I bet.
Among others. After the assassination, while Geralt was in the dungeon, the lords convened in a field near Lavalette Castle to choose a new ruler. 3 days they debated, and it looked more like a bazaar than a meeting of nobles. Except the trade was in court and ministry positions, spheres of influence, royal privileges.
Humans.
In spite of several duels and 2 poisonings, no king was chosen. Civil war was in the air.
Where were the mages?
Aye. Where were the grey eminences of this world when they were truly needed?
They weren't invited. Neither was I. But if not for their intervention, or rather that of a few influential sorceresses, Baron Kimbolt would have taken the throne.
I was invited to sing at his court once. Afterwards, he refused to pay me, and the food was awful. No way I'll stay in Temeria if he's crowned.
Did they ultimately resolve anything?
No. It ended as usual. Sadly, John Natalis remains our only hope.
Ah, the victor at Brenna, and Foltest's most tried and true field commander.
And during the deliberations, he was several days' march from Lavalette lands, with an additional 2,000 armed men in tow. He's to keep the peace until a rightful monarch is chosen.
He could find that ruling is to his liking.
Natalis is a soldier at heart. He's not suited to rule, and I don't believe he even wants to.
He's got the army behind him.
Which is why he can guarantee peace. Well, a tenuous one, sure, but that's always better than civil war. Besides which, he's deeply in debt to a dwarven bank in which Philippa Eilhart, as sorceress, holds significant stake.
I think I've heard enough about politics. Foltest's killer lay in wait in the tower, where the Lavalettes had hidden the royal bastards. He was well informed.
Wait a minute, what were you doing there?
I was protecting the king. After the first attempt, Foltest began treating me as his lucky charm. He ordered me to be at his side during the battle. The dragon separated us from the rest of the army. The killer disguised himself as a monk, a blind one at that. He let Foltest greet his children, waited until I had walked off, then cut the king's throat from ear to ear.
How did he flee?
Jumped out a window into the river below. Iorveth's Scoia'tael were waiting in a boat. It was planned.
And you're chasing him because he murdered the king?
I was accused of the murder. I need to clear my name. Besides, I looked him in the eye before he escaped. He's a witcher. Then some brave Temerian soldiers showed up, piled on me, and knocked me out.
Save yourselves, good folk! The beast attacks!
We better get out there. Someone's casting spells.
What sort of sorceress are you? A lot of good you did. Can't you hear me? Why didn't you help him?
He's alive, isn't he?
The beast nearly pulled him in the water while you stood staring like a calf at a shit-covered clover.
Watch your words.
Where's this beast?
Ask her!
Geralt.
Ah, I guess we knew each other.
Oh, look here! Birds of a feather!
Let's say I've heard of you.
Master Witcher, this is foolish! The beast near pulled Cedric into the depths, and you're simply chatting with this damsel!
Cedric's alive, and nowhere near the depths. The monster's vanished without a trace.
You best take her seriously, lest you vanish without a trace.
I'm tired of your whining. Get out of here.
I'm to go. Not likely. You get your ass out of Flotsam, wanderer.
I apologize for interrupting, but I am Louis Merce, and I am chief person in charge of all matters related to monster hunting in Flotsam. It is in this capacity that I must inquire if you're willing to attempt to resolve the problem of our so-called Karen, the beast that now blocks all trade traffic on the river.
So, Witcher, are we willing?
I usually work alone.
I was here first, and I'll not relinquish this contract. My way or the highway, as the locals put it.
Fine. Your way it is.
You must contact the merchants on the waterfront as regards any rewards. Madame de Tanseville has, I believe, already conducted some preliminary negotiations.
That I have.
In that case, don't let me keep you.
Triss, how long must I wait for you to introduce us?
Sheila de Tanserville, advisor to Queen Zulika of Kovir.
Kovir's a long way north.
True. I had my doubts if the Kayran was worth the journey, but those were dispelled with what it showed today.
Here to hunt down some ingredients?
Triss Merigold. Sharp as ever.
You're thinking that...
Troll eyes, ghoul venom, virgin's blood, all those disgusting marvels we take from dying species. To throw into the cauldron at Sabbaths, right, Triss?
Absolutely. Virgins are a dying breed.
Oh my, your sense of humour seems to be intact too. But enough of these pleasantries. Tell me, Geralt, you saw the tentacle. What do you make of it all?
The beast must be huge. Maybe inhabited one of the Pontar's tributaries before, hunting animals. Then it grew for some reason, and hunger drove it to seek fresh pastures.
And on the Pontar it found trade barges burgeoning with obese, slow-moving merchants. You're partly correct. Cedric claims the Kayran emerged from the northern swamps approximately 1 month past.
Cedric?
An elf. Formerly a Scoia'tael. Strange bird. But he knows quite a bit about the area and its living wonders.
I need to look around, find out a few things.
An investigation. Witchers' rituals, extracting secrets and such.
More or less. I'll talk to the merchants about the reward, pay Cedric a visit and get back to you.
You'll find me at the inn. I've rented lodgings there, on the upper floor.
You know the inn's also a horror house.
Thanks for the warning.
Ever seen the river monster, the Kayran?
I have, but I'm not the talkative kind.
Speak up.
The monster's as big as a barn, with giant tentacles. Snatches men from boat decks and cattle off the shore. It's slimy like a snail, but fast as a thirsty vampire.
Ma always said, go ask the mason to take you as his apprentice. You'll learn a trade, gain respect.
I've always preferred the wandering life. Meet new people, beat some of them up.
Don't tell me you like it.
Not really, it's a shithole. But plenty of folk to beat up.
You free?
No, working my arse off like a stagecoach. Good day.
Psst. White-haired one. I have an offer for you. Greetings, white-haired one. I could do with your help. You see, I'm looking for a certain formula.
I'm no herbalist.
I know who you are. I'll be straight. Find the formula and you'll earn a sizable pouch of orans.
Sounds good. What do you want me to do?
The formula is in the hands of a certain shopkeeper.
Can't go and see him yourself?
He deals in incense. One type is particularly popular. I think what he sells is harmful, yet I need the formula to prove it. The scoundrel knows that and is very cautious. Yet I assume you, as a witcher, have your ways?
I'll see what I can do.
What do you want?
Heard you have a problem.
Ah, if only we had just one. Highways washed out, forests full of bandits, a river beast blocks the port, and tolls are to rise.
Can't help with the tolls, but the monster's a possibility.
A sorceress said the same, but we've yet to see any results.
She's asked me to work with her.
And who's to pay your wage?
That's what I'm here to discuss.
The sorceress was to manage alone. You can split that reward if you wish.
Well, we're managing it together now. So as I see it, you should double the reward.
You jest!
You'll double what you offered Lady de Tanzeville, because that's what the contract's worth.
So be it. I assume you to be professionals and worth every last copper paid to you.
It's a deal. Now tell me what you know about the beast.
You're the Witcher, damn it! I've no knowledge of these things.
Who could tell me more?
That ploughing elf, Cedric, most probably. He's supposed to know all about monsters.
Where can I find him?
In the village, outside the walls. Now leave me be.
It's true, they say. He's like a cat's. Oh no, I'm not talking to a freak.
Wait a minute.
Be off, or I'll call the guards.
Work the material.
You might want to stir it.
I don't stir. I work the material.
Good day.
Something's troubling me.
Let's hear it.
What does a bloody witcher actually eat?
Mushrooms?
Spuds?
Why spuds?
Because he's a human like us. He sweats, he bleeds. But we eat spuds too.
What? Smart ass, eh?
I'm bored stiff. Come on, nearly got him. Go on, a wee bit more.
Say
Change your
something.
grip.
Or did you
Humans
just
know
fart?
as much about arm wrestling as I know about screwing trolls.
You look strong. Care for a little contest? Too strong for me. Here's what you're owed. You ought to give Wiry Wilkes a shot.
You'll not have an easy time with me. Strong man you are. Here's your coin. You should take on Big Max.
Look! You're a strong lad, but I'm no wimp either. Wanna take me on? By Veo Pattis's balls, you're strong. Your winnings. There's someone else. No one's beaten him yet.
Who?
Bartholomew Bargy. You'll find him in the village.
The massacre in Rivia. It came back to me, I remember. The angry mob murdering non-humans, a young boy with a pitchfork.
Anything else?
Death, or a state close to it, I'm not sure. I felt life draining out of me.
I was there. I arrived a moment later. Too late.
Don't worry, Triss. They're only memories. We have bigger problems to tackle now. Something tells me that in recovering my memory, I'll find out a lot about what we're dealing with now. How's it living with Roach's soldiers?
Splendid. I know every shit joke that anyone's ever thought up. Plus, I've learned how to burp out the official title of the Emperor of Nilfgaard without reaching for beer. Shorty's told me about his 16 children, all named after Temerian troop divisions, and I know his nickname has nothing to do with his manhood. Nice to know that you care, though.
Glad to see you in a good mood.
I think I actually like them. They're good people. One of them even proposed to me.
Who's the brave man?
Sorry, that's a secret.
And here I thought Roach's boys had an ounce of respect for me. Good to see you, Zoltan. What are you doing so far from home?
It's a dog's life, Geralt, I'll tell you that much. You work your fingers to the bone for 6 years, you listen to the tirades of that old tyrant Breckenrig, you buy jewels. Then she breaks off the engagement. And there I was, learning a gavotte. Fuck it. Out of sight, out of mind. Farewell to Eudora, the forge in Novigrad, and all the world's Breckenrigs. I'm a plain merchant, and I've made my peace with that.
How are you killing time in this hellhole?
At present, polishing gems for Sheila de Tanserville. Requires precision, but it's well-paid work.
Jewelry?
Not quite. The sorceress is building a magical contraption. Spends her days staring at it. A regular magpie eyeing a copper. But I don't think she's getting anywhere with it. Got so enraged one time she dashed a vase against the wall. Some temperament, those sorceresses, I'm telling you.
Is there a good swordsmith or blacksmith here?
There's a small smithy by the wall. Quite basic. The tools probably remember the conjunction of the spheres, but it'll do for weapon repairs. They also enhance swords with runes and add ornamentation to armor. Just don't do anything that'll make you look like Dandelion at the opening of a new brothel. You could also look in on some merchants. I don't think Laredo's robbed them of everything yet.
How are those biceps holding up, Zoltan?
Hard as a bull's bollocks. Arm wrestling's a dwarven pastime.
We ought to try it sometime.
I'll arm wrestle you anytime. Now, even.
Show me those bull's bollocks, then.
Your hand's like a vice.
It wasn't easy.
If you ever run into my old mates Yarpin or Sheldon, promise me you'll take them on. They'll be surprised.
I know you. I can see you're dying to ask me. What is it?
All right, fess up. What happened to Foltest?
Want to know the version that is yet to make it to Flotsam? The king died in mysterious circumstances. The Witcher Geralt, his sword covered in blood, was discovered standing over his corpse.
Did you kill him? This'll stay between us, I promise.
The killer escaped before I could get him. I'm being set up.
So what are you gonna do? Run around swinging your sword hoping the killer walks into range?
I don't have to. The killer's in the forest with the Squirtle, and he knows I'm here. We'll find each other.
Geralt, please don't do anything stupid. Don't stick your neck out. If Laredo finds out you were involved in Foltest's assassination...
You gave Vernon a full report on Flotsam. Seen anything unusual around here?
They've got some amazing women at the brothel. You should take a look. One of them.
You know what I mean.
A town like any other. It's got a harbor, an inn, and a stinking muddy river. That's what an ordinary man would say. But we poets also look into people's souls. And things are not good. I saw a robbery sanctioned by law. Town watchmen laughing as they confiscated goods, all the while talking about how they'd finally bring order to the town. I saw drunken thugs beat up an elf woman while no one even flinched. I know these things happen everywhere, but here, it's not motivated by hatred or misguided attempts at meting out justice. People are driven by cold calculation, always looking for opportunities to get a little richer.
I need information. Anything that could help me track down the Kingslayers.
I only know gossip. Things folk have been saying since Demothen's death. People are throwing out blame left and right. One day it's the elves, another the Nilfgaardians, then it's Rivians.
Let me guess. The suspects also include a Zerrikanian alchemist and a group of halflings.
Bold theory, that. But the mob comes up with even better ones. Know what? Frankly, the most worrying effect of these assassinations is the chaos they've unleashed in people's minds.
What do you mean?
I mean chaos. People don't know what to think, who's good and who's evil. And these are tough times. Who knows what's going to happen?
So, Mr. Master Spy, what's new in the world of politics? Bards singing about anything interesting these days?
Eddern's in trouble. Henselt and his great army are nearing the Pontar and will ford it and strike any day.
Well, we haven't had a war in a long time.
Like all little boys, he likes to play with his soldiers. But I don't think Kedwin will have an easy time of it. Eddern's borders are guarded by Saskia the Dragon Slayer.
Who's she? Some mercenary?
A peasant girl and self-proclaimed commander of something called the Edirnian Voluntary Militia.
Fighting women and bards who play politics. These are strange times. I'm having flashbacks, Dandelion.
What have you remembered?
My own death.
I saw that with my own eyes, as I've told you many times. Yennefer gave her life to save yours. I thought you might have remembered what happened afterwards. I mean, how the devil can you be here now? I hear you, I see you, you're breathing. I mean, you're just alive.
Dandelion, I've had a flashback or two. I don't know everything yet. What's going on, Geralt? We arrived in Flotsam, we saw the killer, we've pissed everyone off. What next? If the Kingslayer's in Iorveth's care, we'll have to get them both. If we go out into that forest to look for elves, all we'll find is our own death. We'll visit Laredo as invited. He may be a hick heading a bunch of imbeciles, but this is his territory and he could prove useful. How can the commander of a Temerian garrison just piss all over the commander of Foltest's special forces? The Blue Stripes aren't exactly popular among common folk, in case you hadn't noticed. Like anyone who does the dirty work. But Laredo's a soldier. The worst scum gets posted to dumpy border towns like this. Incompetent fools who show off their authority to a bunch of grimy peasants. A little town deep in the forest, terrorized by Scoia'tael. You should be in your element, Roach. Flotsam isn't just any old town, Geralt. Temeria, Redania, Kedwin, and Edirn. The largest kingdoms in the north. Know what they all have in common? The Pontar Valley, a strip of land they've been battling over for generations. Exactly. And here's Flotsam, on the border between Temeria and Edirn, with Kedwin lying in wait just the other side of the marshes. At the very edge of the Pontar Valley. Stuck in the middle like a candle up the arse. The north's most important trade routes meet here. Every caravan has to come through Flotsam, and anyone who wants to place their cargo on a boat on this section of the river has to bear Laredo in mind. They say Henselt of Kedwin has gathered an army and is heading for Vergen. The Pontar Valley will be on fire soon, while we, Geralt, are sitting in Flotsam, the gateway to the valley. I'd like to believe it's pure coincidence and the killer just followed the squirrels here. Naive to say the least, Witcher. So long, Roach.
Greetings.
Where might you be going?
What kind of question is that? Anyway, know where I can find an elf named Cedric?
Don't get involved in this.
You did turn pale when we met Sheila.
You must have imagined that.
I know you too well.
Sheila's one of the most powerful sorceresses.
That's no reason to fear her.
She can't be trusted, in my experience. I know her to be devious and manipulative.
Any proof?
She's well aware you lost your memory, yet pretended she didn't know.
And why would she do that?
I don't know. Her true intentions have always been hard to fathom.
I'll see if I can't learn what they are.
How?
I'll go hunting with her, right after I find Cedric.
Well, then let's go see him. He should be at the top of his observation tower.
Belk. It'll be nearly a year now.
Moril would delight in a day like this, Saharan. Enjoy the memory of her. Don't wallow in the longing.
I try. I do. But I cannot believe all the bad blood this disappearance has bred.
Don't let others' shade poison your memory of her. Hatred is but an outlet for helplessness.
Thank you, Cedric. Vafael.
Vafael.
Are you Cedric?
Who asks?
Geralt of Rivia.
Ah, the Witcher. And?
Triss Marigold.
Lovely scent, Triss.
Cedric, look at me.
What do you want, Geralt of Rivia?
I need to make a few orens. You wouldn't happen to have a job for a Witcher, would you?
There's never a shortage of work for a Witcher in this forest. It's positively teeming with beasts. Though I'm not surprised they come here in droves.
Know why that is?
Cursed places attract all sorts of scum, like dung attracts flies. There was once a great house in the clearing. They locked up lunatics there. During the war with Nilfgaard, it was raised in a fire. The lunatics broiled in their cells. The ruins remain cursed to this day. 2 daredevils went off to explore the ruins recently. They haven't been seen since.
A great house, you say. Tell me more about the building itself.
It was an old manor house that was converted into a mental institution. There was no shortage of lunatics in wartime. They just kept coming. Reverend Mercier locked them up in there and looked after them. If you find the 2 people lost in the ruins of the mental asylum, you stand to be handsomely rewarded. By them or their families.
No harm in trying. I'm looking to hunt in this area, and I could use some advice.
I'm no witcher. I set traps, snares, try to keep neckers away from Lobindon, that's all.
I'm aiming a little higher than neckers.
The old man? Meaning the Karen? Finally, Laredo's splurged. Listen, I'm not one to teach your grandmother to suck eggs. You witchers know your work. But if you pay me, I can prepare a useful trap.
What kind of trap?
Puncturing trap, immobilizing trap, even decoys to pull monsters into an ambush. Whatever you like. Since I can easily finish off an ensnared necker, it should be child's play for you.
The elf woman you were talking about. How did she disappear?
Saharim believes the forest took her.
What do you believe?
Moril simply vanished, almost a year ago now. Some say she was too beautiful, and Dwan must have harmed her.
You believe that?
If I have no evidence before me, I try to trust my feelings. And they tell me the forest did not take her.
Why would you keep that from Saharim?
Because it's meaningless. Perhaps she was murdered, perhaps she departed on her own, never to return. She's gone, and neither I nor Saharim can reverse that.
Who exactly are you?
One who warns humans against the dangers that lurk in the forest.
Care to clarify?
I am old, even for an elf. Yet the forest is older. I've lived in it for years and understand it, though it's nothing I can explain. At times I make mistakes and people don't come home.
So you help humans?
I just know if it's safe to venture beyond the gates or not.
Maybe I'll come back when you're sober.
You witches live a long life. You may indeed get to see that day.
What are the Scoia'tael fighting for?
Do you ask about the old ones, who hoped to restore our race to its previous glory? Or about the young ones, who fight for survival and out of suicidal revenge?
Iorveth's warriors. Which mold do they fit?
They believe they are still independent, and that there is but one just way to view their cause. In truth, however, they're but a shadow of the Enshe's former glory. They cling to delusions to the very moment when a sword or a noose ends their life, or until they realize the truth themselves, which is, I believe, the worst.
I aim to kill the Karen. Heard you might be able to help.
That depends on the sort of aid you seek.
I need information.
We should have killed it years ago. Now I don't know. The beast has become too large for the riverbed, and it has strange growths on its tentacles, extremely thick skin. Previously, it inhabited a swamp along one of the Pontar's tributaries. Completely wild terrain. Even the Scoia'tael don't venture there. You should go see the wreck of the boat it recently sank. Inspect any traces it's left. See the destruction.
Where's this wreck?
Venture south into the forest, then turn east toward the river. You'll find the ruins of a bridge erected long ago by the Enshe. The wreck lies at their foot.
Thanks, Cedric.
You'll find me by the boat wreck.
Sheesh, Triss. Sure you're not overusing those teleports?
Hello.
Don't go to the forest, Witcher. It's certain death.
Why does he need tooth? Does he tend to lose them?
What?
You'll betray no one else, Elvin bitch.
I don't know what you're talking about!
My dad.
Commandant Dorito will explain everything.
You've no right!
My daddy's a soldier.
What's going on here?
This whore's a Scoia'tael spy.
Any evidence?
What's it to you?
Easy. She loiters around the garrison, kick-kitting us. Roderick says he bound her, but I don't believe that.
I did!
That's your evidence?
2 of our lads are missing. Last seen with her.
I only spoke to them. Then they went off towards the caves. That's all I know.
The bitch is lying! She led them into an ambush!
This ought to be easy enough to resolve. Look inside the caves.
But they're crawling with all sorts of filth.
I'll do it, but you'll pay me. Wait for me at the harbor.
Get Iorveth! Death to the squirrels!
Ha 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 ha!